Are you ready to finally cross build my website off your to-do list? Then you need to be using these 5 AI tools to speed up your workflow. Ain't nobody got time to waste, so let's get into it. And don't worry, I'll have all the tools I talk about linked down in the description. Hey guys, welcome back. If you don't know me, my name is Renita. I'm a website designer who loves teaching people about Squarespace. And I'm the creator behind Gold Standard Design. If you're a creator, blogger, podcaster, or solopreneur looking to dive into the world of Squarespace, I got you covered. Okay, so when you go to build your website, it's generally a good idea to have your brand already figured out. But if you're not quite there yet, these AI tools are going to give you a boost so you can check branding and website off your to-do list. And even if you do have your brand figured out, these will still be super helpful in building out your website. First things first, let's start with your brand name. Now, you might already have some ideas that you've been workshopping, but let's just say worst case scenario that you have no ideas. We're going to use our first tool, ChatGPT, to help us figure this out. You've probably heard about ChatGPT and maybe you even used it before, but I bet you haven't taken full advantage of everything it's capable of. For instance, did you know ChatGPT can write you a formula to use in Excel? Or that it can summarize a long podcast into a high-level overview? As it turns out, ChatGPT is also great at idea generation, especially when you're feeling particularly out of ideas. So what you're going to do is put all your ideas about your business into ChatGPT and ask it for some name ideas. You can be specific and ask for like 10 different names or leave it open-ended. Personally, I prefer asking for a set number of results, but maybe that's just me. If you don't like any of the results that it gives you at first, you can either tweak your prompt to generate something closer to what you're looking for, or simply expand on one of the ideas it already produced. Once you've got something you're happy with, we're ready to move on to step number 2, creating your logo. Now, if you already have your logo done, you can feel free to skip this step. But unless you're already somewhat established and you've been using your logo in various places, like on social media, on some merch, something like that, I'd say it's still a good idea to try out our next tool, midjourney. Even if you've already got something you're pretty happy with, it doesn't hurt to play around and check out the possibilities, especially if you're only feeling meh about your logo. If you haven't heard of midjourney, it's basically an AI that makes pretty pictures. If you were being fancy and technical, you might say it's a generative AI that converts conversational language into image format. And it works similarly to ChatGPT in that you put in a text prompt and it gives you a high quality image based on that prompt. And you can then continue editing the prompt to adjust the image until you're happy with it. Midjourney is great for generating all kinds of things like logos, product photos, art, and more. Depending on how invested you want to get, you could theoretically replace your need for stock photos with the images that you can get from Midjourney. It could also replace your need to hire a professional photographer for product photos, but I would keep them around for personal photos. It's always a good idea to have good quality pictures of yourself on your website. Just note, this tool will require you to spend a bit of money to use. Midjourney is currently charging at least $10 a month to use their service, which is not necessarily going to break the bank, but I just like to give you a heads up whenever you're going to need to spend money. Now that you've got your company name and logo out of the way, let's move on to your color palette. Okay, this next tool is something I only learned about recently, but I've had so much fun playing around with. AI Colors is pretty much what it sounds like. It's a website where you can enter a prompt and it will generate a color palette based on that prompt. You can play around with what kind of prompts you give it, but they've also got ready-made palettes you can scroll through, and these appear to be made by other users of the site. They've got 4 different layouts that you can cycle through so you can see how the colors look on different page types. They've got a mobile app view, which kind of looks like a mock-up of a phone screen, a dashboard view, which looks very financy in my opinion, a portfolio view, which is pretty minimal, and a landing page view, which still looks slightly finance-ish to me, but is less cluttered than the dashboard view. The only thing I don't like is that you can't easily move the colors around in any of the views. It generates a whole palette below the sample view, but you can't just drag the colors where you would want them to be. Instead, you have to adjust your text prompt, which is okay, but could be better. But hey, I can't really complain too much about a free tool. Okay, so now we've got our company name, logo, possibly some product photos, and our color palette. On to photo editing! Okay, so editing photos isn't necessarily something you absolutely have to do when building your website, but there's a good chance you're going to want to filter out a background or create some themed graphics at some point. And that's where Canva fits in. In case you've been living under a rock somewhere, Canva is a free-to-use online graphic design tool that can create social media posts, presentations, posters, videos, logos, and more. Their words, not mine. And when they say more, they really mean it. You can use Canva to create reports, ebooks, PDFs, slideshows, YouTube thumbnails, YouTube intros. The list is almost endless. But for our purposes today, we're going to focus on its AI-powered tools. Canva recently introduced its Magic Studio, a collection of AI tools that helps you design graphics and videos, edit images, and write copy. With Magic Design, you can input a text prompt and have Canva create a presentation, video, or social media post. With Resize and Magic Switch, you can create a design in one size and then reformat it into another. For example, if you created a landscape-oriented presentation, but you wanted to post the title slide on your Instagram, you can use the Resize tool to automatically adjust it for you. They've also got a midjourney-esque tool called Magic Media, where you can turn a text prompt into a whole video, image, or graphic. Canva also has a range of AI photo editing tools like Magic Expand, it does what it sounds like, Magic Edit, where you can replace parts of an image, Background Remover, and more. I think the most popular of these is going to be the Background Remover, but maybe that's just me and how I work. I will say that although Canva has a completely free version, in order to use most of Magic Studio's features, you'll need to be on one of their paid plans, which start at $120 a year. That works out to $10 a month, which is the same price as Midjourney, but with Canva, there's no option to pay by the month, so you'll need to fork over the entire $120 upfront for the Pro plan. Yeah, this is incorrect. You can actually pay for Canva Pro on a monthly basis, but you'll pay $15 a month to do so, meaning the total cost per year is $180 instead of $120. Even if you don't want to go pro just yet, I would still recommend using Canva's free version to design your site graphics and social media posts. With their hundreds of free templates, it's definitely worth checking out. All right, now that we've got our brand name, logo, color palette, and edited our photos, the last step is to get some words onto our website. Enter RelumeIpsum. RelumeIpsum is part of RelumeAI and touts itself as the fastest way to write copy for your website. This tool works inside Figma as a plugin that generates copy on different sections of your website. Inside your Figma wireframe, RelumeIpsum will look at the structure you've already set up and work around that. If you're starting totally from scratch and don't have any copy written, you can input a prompt into RelumeIpsum and it will generate copy for every section of the page. If you've already got some headings or portions of your page written, you can lock those, which will tell the AI this is approved copy and not to touch it. It will then read what you've written and populate additional text based off that as needed. Just be aware this tool does come with a price tag. RelumeIpsum has plans starting at $9 a month and going up to $59 a month that will give you varying limits of words that you can generate. So if you choose to pay yearly, the price ranges from $90 a year to $590 a year. Now, if you're not a Figma user, that's okay. Most website building platforms these days have some sort of AI copywriting system built in. I know Squarespace, Wix, Shopify, and Hostinger all do for sure. So chances are good that whatever platform you're using to build your site has got this type of tool built in. But as with everything generated by AI, I would just encourage you to not only proofread what it's writing, but also do some editing to make the copy sound more like you would say it. You do want to have some of your personality come through, just make sure it doesn't sound too AI-ish, if you know what I mean. If you plan to build your site on Squarespace, then you should check out my free Squarespace website prep guide. It's got everything you need, from how to gather research on your industry and competitors, to drafting your calls to action, to prompts on how to write your own copy or tweak your AI generated copy. And if you're thinking, Renita, you just told me I could design my website with these AI tools. Why do I need these tips? Then you should check out this video where I talk about the pros and cons of using an AI website builder versus a human web designer. And as a bonus, I've included a few key design tips in the guide to help you build a really custom, unique website that stands out. So check that out down in the description. So to recap, we've got ChatGPT to generate our company name, midjourney to create a logo, product photos, stock photos, etc., AI colors to generate a color palette, Canva to create graphics and edit photos, and RelumeAI to write our website copy. Now, by no means am I suggesting that you should let AI take over completely and do 100% of the work of building your website. I firmly believe your website should have a healthy dose of you and your personality. So instead of thinking of AI as an all-in-one solution, think of it more like your assistant. You're the boss, but your assistant is there to help and support you to get the job done. But you're still the one doing the job. I hope that makes sense. If you're interested in learning more about Squarespace's AI website builder, check out this video where I go through an actual website build with this tool and give you my honest thoughts. If you found any of this helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more Squarespace tips and tricks, and let me know in the comments what other things you're interested in learning about Squarespace, websites, or online business. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!